Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies for Nurse New Bully. Me host Leroy, aka Rihanna, with my co-host.
This is Eli, aka Mandolicious.
There you go. The Mantastic. Yeah. And we're back with another episode. We're just gonna jump into it. And one thing I first want to say is that this episode is not sponsored by those ugly ass red boots. So yeah. Eli, I don't know if you've seen these boots, but this is like the new trend.
Those are boots?
Yeah. These are boots. These are like all celebrities are wearing these boots right now. Like everybody wants to wear the Pac-Man 3000s, the Gargamels or whatever like that. That's the thing.
No shit. I was not aware of that.
They're made by not Nike, but like an offshoot of Nike. Guess how much they go for? Just take a guess. Take a guess.
I'm gonna get bummed out, am I? Over $50. I'm gonna be like,
yes, it's over $50. Okay, so these boots go for $350. Like I said, every celebrity is wearing them right now. Regular people wearing them right now. Well, actually, the celebrities are wearing them right now because they're not actually for sale for public right now. They go on sale on the 16th this week. So, Eli, I told you ahead of time. So when you see people wearing those ugly ass boots next week, that's where they came from.
So what's the purpose of the? Did they have any practicality? Are they like better for your feet or something? Or are they just?
No, you just look like, Mega Man,
a video
Astro
game
Boy
character. Yeah.
Yeah, Super Mario. That's pretty much it. I mean, I'll be honest with you, like, if they ever go on sale, you're gonna see me in some ugly ass Super Mario Brothers boots too. I will have no shame in it. I will do it.
Like it does. Does like maybe for the snow.
No, they probably maybe they will. Maybe they are better for the snow. I don't know. All I know is that you just see a bunch of NBA players and rappers and models wearing them right now. So obviously they have no purpose. So they're just popular. Hold up. We got comments this week.
Yeah, we got people in the.
I'm in tonight and y'all wearing them McMahon. Fat T, you wearing them too. You can probably get it before I will. What we talking about? Oh, the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl was tonight. Yes, this is technically a Super Bowl centric podcast. Even though, full disclosure, I don't give a shit about the Super Bowl. I barely remember who won, and it just went off.
I didn't watch the game either. No.
I watched it. I mean, like I said, if you come to this podcast, you don't listen to the podcast for sports. So we're not going to talk about the sports. We're going to talk about everything else around the podcast. So, and plus, if anybody feel bad or feels good about whoever won, I guess it was Chiefs versus the Eagles. Remember, either your team won or the other team cheated. Either way, you should feel good about tonight. So there you go. First thing I want to talk about. Doing the thing is the actual halftime show. We're talking about the halftime show. Eli, I think this is when you check out. Hold on.
Yeah. Hey, Doom's in the house.
Vic, what up? Just here for the trailers. We're gonna talk about trailers. We're gonna get into it. Do want to say, like I said, Rihanna performed for the first time in like 6 years. She performed tonight. But the thing is, nobody can actually concentrate on her performance because every day, Twitter and social media, everybody talking about one thing. Is she getting big? Is she pregnant? And it turns out she did confirm later on that she was pregnant. But the thing is, now that she's confirmed that she's pregnant, I want everybody on my timeline to apologize to the person next to you. Because the shit y'all was saying was pretty nasty. People were saying, oh, Rihanna's performance, she looks pretty big. She looks pretty chunky. She's got more chins. Her belly's getting full. And people saying, maybe she's pregnant. But then the next person is saying, like, no, you just body shaming. You're just... all this stuff like that. You're just as big as Rihanna, and nobody's putting a baby in you. You fat fuck. Wide bitch. All this shit like this. So calm down. Apologize to the person next to you. Nobody's body shaming everybody. Let's move on from there. So yeah. So now that we talked about stuff that Eli didn't care about, like big red boots and Rihanna's two chins, I think we can actually move into the podcast right now. I think we're ready to just jump into it. First thing, like I said, we do want to just jump into some trailers, and we want to jump into the big trailer right now because this is like the trailer is getting like the most traction on social media right now, and we're gonna jump into the Flash. Now there's been a lot of things going on. First thing I do want to address that I was getting a lot of like DMs and messages and tags and comments, stuff like that. People asking like the Flash. I thought the Flash was canceled. Let's put this out there right now. The Flash was not canceled. The Flash was never canceled. It was never even in danger of being canceled. The only people that wanted the movie canceled was the internet, Twitter, social media. They were the ones complaining about it because of Ezra Miller. They wanted the movie canceled, or they wanted the movie recast, or whatever. Warner Brothers never, ever, ever planned on replacing him for this movie, or just shelving this movie like they did Batgirl. They can shelve Batgirl,
or CGIing Shia LaBeouf in there or something.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen. It can't happen because
he can't. I think he's canceled too.
Is he
CGIing Amber Heard?
Right. Yeah, you can't. They want that done, Minimize the scene. For everybody that has seen the trailer, obviously that's not possible because not only is Ezra Miller in every scene, he's like two people in every scene. So you can't just CGI him out and just put, I don't know, Tom Holland in there or some shit like that.
And you could argue the fact that, hey, they already made the movie, so why would they shelve it?
They already made the movie. The movie was done.
Yeah, Batgirl, but
right. Now, to be fair, Batgirl cost a lot more money than the Flash did. Plus, here's the thing. What Warner Brothers, James Gunn, and everybody in Warner Brothers has been telling us that this movie is supposed to be the movie to put DC back on the map, like single-handedly back on the map. That's what they've been promising us. Hemorrhaturgy, man. Exactly, Vic.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Waka.
So that's what's going on with that. So, yeah, you just can't replace, not Reggie Miller, Ezra Miller. Yeah, that's the guy's name. Getting my Millers confused. So that's the thing like that. So, people want him canceled because of stuff he did. And the funny thing is, like, it's got to the point that people don't even know what he did. They just hear his name and know he's canceled. So people are like, oh, it couldn't be that bad. All Ezra Miller did was just put out a tweet or some shit. It could have been like, no, it wasn't a tweet what he did.
Nah, man.
Yeah. Let's back up what Ezra Miller did. Ezra Miller did not put out a racist tweet from 2009, and that's why we canceled. No. Last year, he was kidnapping, attacking people, assaulting people, grooming people, taking people hostage.
Forming a sex cult or some shit.
Forming a sex cult. I mean, we're probably missing some shit he did. And he did all this in like a month span. The police were looking for him to give him a cease and desist restraining order, but they couldn't find him because he was on the run with the girl he kidnapped. And where was he, you might ask? Turns out he was on Warner Brothers' lot shooting this movie. So no, they were not going to cancel this movie because he was there the whole time, because Warner Brothers is putting that much faith in this movie that they thinking that this is going to be it. And they keep saying that this is the last movie they're doing with Ezra Miller. But the more they keep talking, Eli, I'm starting to second guess. I'm thinking like, oh, they've been in rehab. They're doing better. They're, all this stuff like that. So I think all of this just spin, for what they're doing right now, So I think it's all bullshit. I think he'll be back as the Flash, especially if this movie does numbers. Because that's one thing about it. Like, we don't cancel people that we like. Well, I ain't gonna say we like. They entertain us. I think
we do.
We don't cancel people that entertain us. I put it like that. Yeah, so I mean, if they entertain, if we find them entertaining, and then, like I said, the people that we find entertaining, we don't want them canceled. Like Dr. Dre, love Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre has a history of domestic violence with all kinds of women like that. Should I stop playing Ain't Nothing But a G Thing, Baby? No, it's on my phone right now. Oh, so does that mean if I play Ain't Nothing But a G Thing, Baby, do I condone domestic violence? No, I just like the song. Same thing with Ezra Miller. If I'll go watch this flag, because some people are still boycotting this movie, if I go see The Flash, am I condoning domestic violence or kidnapping or sex cults or whatever the hell he did? I'm like, no, I'm not condoning any stuff. I just want to see The Flash. I like The Flash before Ezra Miller was even a thing. Hell, even if we just go by the CW, he was around way before Ezra Miller. So can I just watch this show without making a political statement? Does everything have to be a political statement? Can we just like check our brain at the door and just watch shit? That's all I want to know. I don't know.
There
what
do
we got?
Hello,
Rick and Morty. They canceled too, right? or
I
one of them
think
is.
so, or some. Yeah, it's been a while since I watched Rick and
And
Morty.
see, that's the problem.
Yeah.
I need a fucking flow chart with this shit. Every time you turn around, somebody is canceled, and if you don't catch up with it, you won't know if you cancel. You know, I was just listening to a song from an artist the other day. Oh, you can't like that artist because that artist says some shit about black women. Like, what the fuck? So a song I've been listening to for like 3 weeks, I can't listen to it anymore because all of a sudden now I'm a racist or a colorist or I hate black women or some shit like that just because this chick has a catchy tune. So I don't know.
You were listening to Iggy Azalea, weren't you?
No, not this time. Honestly, I can't even remember who it was because it's like, you know what? I don't even want any drama. Let me just not listen to this shit. Let me just delete this shit, you know.
Taking about the 2013. Oh, I'm so fancy.
I have my own issues with Iggy Azalea, but yeah, that's it. But anyway, let's get back to it. What are we talking about? So what do we notice from the Flash movie? We're not gonna do like a complete breakdown, stuff like that. That's for other bigger YouTube channels than us.
Batman. That's all we care about.
That's all. You know what?
Michael Keaton is Batman. That's all we give a shit.
Let's just continue.
Let's
get
Next
to
subject.
it.
No.
Let's get to it. We got the Batman. Okay, Michael Keaton is Batman. Because I think this what sold it. This what sold it for people. People like, I hate Ezra Miller, but Michael Keaton, no. That's what a lot of people are like right now, you know. And that's the thing. Like, you want to cancel Ezra Miller. You want to boycott this movie. You want to boycott the movie for one person and ignore everybody else that was in the movie. Michael Keaton didn't do anything to anybody.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck didn't do anything to anybody lately, you know. So why are you canceling
all those overworked and underpaid CGI artists that have been slaving away on these movies?
Right.
The real stars of the movie.
The stunt men.
Yeah.
Because Michael Keaton ain't doing all that jumping and shit in that movie.
Yeah.
And whoever it is, they cut away from it. Some dude is doing a backflip. They cut back to it. All of a sudden, Michael Caine's back in frame. That's what's going on. So yeah, thank that guy.
All the people the list of people you don't read waiting for the after credit scene
that don't get nominated for Oscars because CGI didn't get nominated for Oscars. Stuntmen don't get nominated for Oscars, so they won't get any credit whatsoever other than
the grips don't get
the
nominated.
grips.
The best grip. Where's the best grip award?
The best boy.
Yeah, best catering service.
Right.
Food's the most important job on earth. Everybody got to eat. They should get
because they got to watch their diet, so they can't just feed them burgers and shit like that. There's got to be something that the stars like.
The catering department should get Ben Affleck's salary, and Ben Affleck should get the catering people's salary.
Or something. Yeah. So, but that's what's going on right now. So, and they were on screen more time than anybody else. A CGI Batman and a stunt Batman will be on screen more time than Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton, probably. You know. Oh, here we go. What is it? What do we got? If you want our promotion. Oh yeah, thank you, whoever you are.
Yes, I'm figuring out. I'm trying to do my job and I'm failing.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't worry about it. He's probably fine. Back what were we talking about? Okay, so yeah. Anyway, talking about this Flash movie. So what is this Flash movie? Is it okay? There we go. The guy again. Obviously, this movie is an adaptation, a very loose adaptation of Flashpoint. It's not Flashpoint. And some people are upset that it's not Flashpoint. I want Flashpoint. When's the last time Marvel did a 1-by-1 translation adaptation of anything? They haven't. They just take 2 or 3 things of it, slap it on there, slap a name on Infinity War, Infinity Gauntlet like that, and call it a day.
Age
and
of
y'all
Ultron,
love it. Yeah. Age of Ultron is just the name. That's it. So, but when DC do it, all of a sudden you're mad. So yes, no, it's not Flashpoint, but you can see elements of Flashpoint in it. Now, yes, did I want Jeffrey D. Morgan as Thomas Wayne in the Flash movie? I did. But what's going to sell this movie more to the casual public? Jeffrey D. Morgan or Michael fucking Keaton? Let's just be honest. You know. So, and plus you have Ben Affleck in the movie also. Who else do you have in here?
Zod.
Michael Shannon.
I was surprised to see Zod, yeah.
It was leaked for me. This whole plot of this movie was
already serious?
I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody.
Jaded and shit.
But I'm saying I'm not shocked at anything like that. But I'm just saying the prior I already knew Zod was going to show up. I already know that the plot is going to show up. They're on another Earth where instead of Kal-El showed up, Kara-Zor-El showed up, which is where we get Supergirl from. You know, so that's where she is. And plus that was part of Flashpoint also, where they went to the Earth and like Project Superman, where Superman was like, and basically just replaced Project Superman with Supergirl. It's the same thing, but not really the same thing, you know. So, like I said, it's elements of it in there. I would have preferred it. I think a Flashpoint story would have been more awesome, with Aquaman had going to war with Wonder Woman because he fucked Mary behind his back, or somebody, whatever. Somebody smashed somebody behind somebody's back. That would have been cool. But I guess you would have had too much going on in the movie. Plus, you couldn't tell in one movie you had to do like a trilogy or some shit. This is just one movie, get in, get out. That's it. Plus, it's going to blow up the DC universe. And I think that's the real reason they wanted this movie to come out so bad, because this is supposed to be their crisis. You know, their DC always has a crisis, and this is their crisis.
Their snap.
Their snap, exactly.
Their end game. They're going to snap everything back.
Right. And that's the thing. Like I said, I'm not condoning Ezra Miller just for watching this movie. I'm not condoning any of his actions. He's still a piece of shit. I think he's a piece of shit. But guess what? It's a lot of piece of shit people in Hollywood. Like, we knew Bryan Singer was doing all that fucked up shit with them boys, stuff like that. We still want to watch the X-Men movies. So, like I said, just watch it and let the courts and police and whatever else do whatever the hell they want to with it. I don't have time to police everybody. I just want to just watch shit. That's all. So
yeah, it looks fine. I mean, I look like No Way Home, only with the Flash.
Pretty much.
Got the
and
greatest
we can
hits.
argue. Yeah, we can argue which came first, Flashpoint or Spider, because Spider-Verse was a comic also. I can't remember which one came first because it's the same thing, multiversal
but
nonsense.
That's the thing, man. Crisis. You take it back to Crisis.
Yeah.
You know, just resetting shit. We're just resetting shit here, and but no, this is like another. It's like the greatest hits. We're bringing everybody back, just like No Way Home did. Brought everybody back, and
Batman. Just shove Batman in it.
Yeah, Zod. That's why I said, oh, Zod's here, and you know, I was like, oh, okay, we're doing that.
Pretty much, because if you think about it, this, is like the 10th anniversary of Man of Steel.
Holy
so,
shit,
yeah, it came out 10 years ago. That's an old ass movie.
Yeah.
Time flies.
Yeah.
So yes, that's going on right now, and I'm trying to think what else. It was something else. Oh yeah. So here's the thing. There's only one thing that would get me excited for this movie. Like, I know everybody else is excited because Batman. That's cool. But the thing is, I kind of wanted a Flash movie. This feels like Flash Endgame. Like you end Flash with this, because you got all this big shit flying all around the place. Batman and Zod and End of the World and Time Crisis and also like that. Can I get a Flash movie? Can I get Captain Boomerang? Can I get Central City? Can I get any of that shit? You know, in a movie before we get to this shit?
Grodd.
I mean,
Zoom.
Yeah, can I get any of that shit first? You know, so with this game, you'll like it all. Yes, Vic, I'm complaining. I'm gonna watch it. I'm probably gonna like it. I'm probably gonna enjoy it. I'm just complaining just to be complaining. I'm admitting that. You know, I'm just saying I would have liked a simpler movie to start off with instead of just blowing up the shit already and just getting to the, you know, just blowing your load already. But here's one thing that will get me excited if they do this. If they give me my boy, Grant Gustin. He has to be in this movie. I don't care in what capacity. Cameo, just pop up, just whatever. Just long as he's in the movie somewhere. And I want them to not. Yeah. And I want them to, because he deserves it. He's been.
Yeah, I'd buy that for $1.
Yeah, he's been holding down the Flash for 9 years. He hadn't kidnapped anybody that we know of. You know, hasn't taken anybody hostage. Maybe, but we don't know that. You know,
he kept it under wraps like you're supposed to.
Exactly. Like, just want your shit to get out. That's all. You know.
Yeah, but I'd said that from the get-go when they were starting to do when they were first starting this shit. I was like, why are they not getting the TV Flash? Grant, what's his name? Grant Gustin? Austin?
Grant Gustin,
yeah. Why? Like that show was dope. At least the first few seasons. I dropped off after a while, but those first few years, the shit was dope. And like, it had a built-in audience. Why did you not use him? No, they went with Ezra Miller. Now look where it got him. You know?
Right.
So,
well, now James Gunn said he's going to course correct that. So basically, everybody on the TV show will be the same people in the movie. So it won't be that anymore. But my thing is, I just want them to acknowledge, because like I said, when they had that Crisis event on the CW show, Ezra Miller showed up. And here's the thing. Most people don't realize this, that the Flash in the Snyderverse was never called the Flash. They never called him the Flash in any of these movies. So the first time he ever heard the Flash was from Grant Gustin in that show, because he asked him, "Who are you?" He like, "I'm the Flash." He like, "The Flash? That's a cool name." So he got his name from the CW. So I want them to acknowledge that in the movie. You do that, I don't care what they do with this movie. Just do that for me. Just throw me a little fan service right there, and I'm fine. That's all. You know. But yeah, would I like the simpler movie? Would I like Jay Garrick show up? Would I like Wally West? You know, all the Impulse. I would have liked that, you know, instead
Burt
of just,
Ward and
right. You're not going out that far, but you know, something simple like that. I would have appreciated that, you know. But that being said, we can move on past that because, like I said, even though we did talk about the thing everybody would talk about, we'll talk about the Flash movie. I do want to make a quick sidebar to the Flash TV show. I know nobody cares. I know it's like 6 people still watching this show, but I'm watching. I did want to let everybody know that yes, this show is back. Season 9 is back. It's the last episode. It's the last
9
season.
Seasons? Damn.
9 seasons. It's the 9th season.
Ooh.
It's a short season. It's a truncated season. But once it's done, that's it. They're already wrapping up there. Already putting the storylines in there right now, and that's it. So the thing is, for the last season, who's the big bad? Who are they fighting in this one? And at first, I didn't know. Hold on, let's see who we got. Ezra was baked out of his mind when he did that scene. Probably so. He probably didn't know where he was. Like, if I was TV, movie, where am I? You know, it doesn't matter. But the thing is, so the big bad of season 9 is going to be the Red Death, you know. And at first, when they said the Red Death, I was like, okay, that sounds familiar. Probably some 70s.
I thought you were going to say
silver.
Batman.
Well, okay. Let me finish. Because I thought it was going to be some kind of like Silver Age type villain. But then I had to remember the Red Death. I'm like, oh shit, the Red Death. Eli, you remember the Red Death?
Is that from Metal?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
I was just joking.
You were just joking, but it's the truth. That's what they're doing. They're doing the Red Death from Dark Knight's Metal. Yes. Because if I put 2 and 2 together, I was like, wait a minute, what? You know, so they're doing Dark Knight's Metal already? Like Dark Knight's Metal's from 2017, 16, whatever, like that.
A few years ago, yeah.
Exactly. I'm a quick synopsis of the Red Death. In the dark multiverse, there was evil Batman all over the place. So in this universe, the evil Batman, I think, killed the Flash and stole his speed force. So it's like a speedster Batman that's evil. That's the Red Death. Boom. That's it. There you go.
Dark Knight's Metal was. It was like evil versions. The evil versions of Batman. Yeah.
Yeah. Like other Justice League members. Powers.
Yeah. There was the evil Batman, Aquaman, the evil, what was it, the Atrocious or whatever, where he's like, yeah, there was so many of them. The fucking Green Lantern.
Evil my favorite Lantern. Was the Aquaman one. The Drown.
The Drown. Yeah, he was a female.
It was a female. Yeah, Bryce Wayne or some shit. I can't remember.
That's where the Batman Who Laughs came from, and
it was another one too. Batman with guns, Punisher Batman.
Oh,
whatever his name was. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but it was a bunch of them. But here's the thing. But this is the CW, and Batman doesn't exist. So how are they going to do the Red Death? Well, we figured that out also.
Oh, I know.
I can't get it. I can't. That? My fault. Not Ben Affleck in one of his 50 movies he had coming out this year. I can't find the picture. Anyway, here he goes. I think it's here.
Ollie?
No, not there. Anyway, no, not Ollie. Batwoman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it took all the wind out your sails right there.
Yeah. Like, I was about to watch it this season. If that's
yeah, it's Batwoman. Obviously, Batwoman stole the Speed Force, went evil. Now she wants to kill the Flash for some odd reason. I don't know, whatever like that. So that's gonna be your season 9 Flash. So yeah, it began began with a bang. Pretty probably just gonna end with a whimper. But yeah, they just want to get this shit over with. That's all.
Yeah, my chance to see what's his name in a fucking shirtless again.
Who that?
Have been shattered. What's that dude's name? Who played Ollie again? What was that guy's name?
Stephen Amell.
Stephen Amell, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure he'll find a way to be shirtless. You know,
that shirtless.
Hey, Grant Gustin been working out. That first episode, he was shirtless like 50% of the episode. Just saying. Shit. Not saying he's Stephen Amell. Just saying. He been putting in work. You can tell he's been putting in work. So yeah. All right, where are we going next? Let's go talk about shirtless dudes. And we need to get our female demographic ratings up anyway. Yeah. So since we're talking, here you go, ladies. You're welcome. Let me see if I can find it. I can't find it. Damn it. Oh, here we go. Boom. Jonathan Majors, picture of Ebony magazine. There you go. So yeah. That's what you're supposed to
talk about Creed at all.
Why? I think they had a trailer. I'm gonna watch it. Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do we got next? I'm trying to see it. I can't read this one. Not that one. Yeah, this one. Okay, let's just run through some movie trailers real quick. Some quick ones. Not gonna take a whole lot of time. Someone's jumping out with me. There was one that dropped out. Another one. Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah. Volume 3 coming out. Cool.
I laughed. I
I laughed. They showed Zamora, not Zamora, Gamora. One of them. I got Zoe and Gamora put together.
Zamora.
So yeah.
Isn't that the country from Coming to America? Oh, that's Zamunda.
That's Zamunda. Yeah.
Zamora sounds better though.
Yeah, they should name it that. We'll trademark that and name it our own when we write our own comics. So yeah. Yeah. So like I said, nothing to talk about. All I gotta say is that why is it that everybody is going crazy over, Jonathan Majors as Kang? I get it why, but I'm just saying. But when they're not going crazy over the High Evolutionary, who's also a race swap black character supervillain that's going to be in the movie. Why are we playing favoritism? I don't know.
Does he take his shirt off?
I would hope he didn't. So yeah, that would,
maybe that's
you answer my question. You answer my question.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh man, let's see. Add another trailer. What do we got? I can't find it. There we go. Okay, another trailer. Got to talk about it.
Okay.
Now look, I understand Fast and Furious movies. They feel like they run on gas. They're on fumes right now. I don't care. I love these movies. We'll watch them. As far as my favorite franchises right now, of course, the MCU, Fast and Furious next. I watch these movies on repeat all the time. I know the lore, the mythology of these movies. It's deep. Because the thing is, I got to appreciate what Vin Diesel has done with these movies. Because like I said, he tried to get Triple X off the ground. He tried to get Riddick off the ground. But what he's done, he's taken like the spy nonsense of Triple X and took the lore building that he tried to do in Riddick and combined it and put it in Fast and the Furious. People haven't really noticed that yet. Like I said, Vin Diesel's a big D&D nerd, and you can see it in here. So, like I said, I love it. People are saying the movies are getting too crazy. I say not getting crazy enough. Go bonkers.
Yeah,
go crazy.
Doesn't he have a tattoo of his character, his elf name or some shit?
Some
like
shit
on his chest or something.
Right. Well, the thing is, family. Exactly. You gotta love family. Well, the thing is, Vin Diesel used to have his own video game company. That's how we got that Riddick video game. He made it. Well, didn't make it, but he put money up for it, but still. But he had his own video game company. And yeah, we got family. And yes, they keep retconning these movies over and over again. They are using the same plot over and over again. A family member of a dude they screwed over is back for revenge, even though that dude that they screwed over never appeared in these movies before. Who cares? Retcon, let it go.
He's the son of Hobbs or some shit.
Yeah, some shit, but he's back for revenge, even though they never met him before, never knew him. He's just here because Jason Momoa is the bad guy in this movie. But he's never been in these movies before, and he wants revenge for some shit.
He's probably gonna take his shirt off.
I would imagine so. I don't think he had a shirt in the trailer. I think he was just. So that's all it takes to be a villain nowadays. Just be shirtless,
What was that one movie Vin Diesel was in where he played the gangster in the court? He was testifying in court. It's actually pretty good. He did pretty good in that movie. It came back out.
It was before the guys.
No, not Knockaround Guys. What the fuck was it called?
The Boiler Room?
No. What the fuck was it called? I'm gonna have to look it up now.
Yeah, Vin Diesel actually used to be considered a legitimate actor at one point. Like he used to be in like real movies before he.
Yeah, it was like Saving Private Ryan and shit before he became like
Iron Giant, also like that,
I'm looking it up. Oh, Find Me Guilty, 2006.
Never heard of that.
Yeah, he was like a gangster and shit. Yeah, it's a pretty good flick, and he did pretty good in that movie. Serious role. Yeah, a serious role.
Yeah, like I said, when he wanted to back then, he could act.
He doesn't take his shirt off. He doesn't drive a car.
Wait, you talking about 2006 Vin Diesel didn't take his shirt off?
Didn't take his shirt off.
Well, that's why nobody heard of that movie. That female demographic viewership just going up. Oh, wait, what are we talking about now? Any other trailer movies you saw that might catch attention?
John Wick.
Did they show the trailer?
Yeah, the new John Wick. I'm gonna see that.
I didn't know they showed the trailer on that one. Okay.
Yeah, I saw that one. I saw a Scream trailer.
They showed that? Okay.
I saw it. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't watch it. I just looked up Super Bowl trailers and then it just played a bunch. And so I saw the Scream trailer, which reminded me of that movie. Now it's in the Scream trailer. It shows the Jenna Ortega, the hot girl of the month. her and a bunch of other chicks are like crawling across. They're like apart or like buildings in New York, like brownstones and shit, and they're running across the roofs. And then there's this two buildings where there's like a ladder bridge, like a ladder between the buildings, and they got to crawl across while Ghostface is chasing them and shit. And I was like, do you remember that movie Judgment Night with the
yeah, I remember it. Yeah,
there's that same scene where they had to run across was it Cuba Gooding in that? Dennis Leary.
He was. It's been a while since I've seen the movie, but yeah,
House of Pain guy and shit. But yeah, that was like the same shit. It reminded me of that. Like, oh, they're the Judgment Night where they had to run across the ladder bridge between the two buildings. I don't know. And then I saw the Creed trailer. Yeah, the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer, Indiana Jones trailer. Yeah.
So cool. All right. The Indiana Jones trailer was like 40 seconds or some shit like that, and they showed like CGI version of him young.
Yeah, we talked about that shit like a couple months. We saw that shit.
Yeah, we went in depth about that also. Yeah. What is this? Yeah, this is a movie I want to talk about. Okay, so Ben Affleck that has more than one movie coming out, not just The Flash. Yeah. He's also starring in the Michael Jordan movie. So the Michael Jordan movie. Yes, they're making a Michael Jordan movie starring Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. So that's all I'm gonna say about
coming out next February.
Exactly. They announced this on Black History Month. Like, really? The Marvel. They showed that? They didn't show that.
Did they?
You talking about?
Oh, I saw like a Secret Invasion trailer.
Did it? Okay.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
I didn't even see a Marvel trailer. I'll watch it later on. Honestly,
that's a TV show or is that
that's a movie? Yeah, you know what? Here's the thing, Vic. You're saying the Marvel's trailer was whack. I don't think it's as whack as you think it is. Because if it was as whack as you think it is, and it's the Marvel's trailer, the internet would go nuts because the internet has been waiting for this trailer to come out to tear it to shreds. That's because you got your favorites, Brie Larson, Miss Marvel.
Wasn't Brie Larson in the new Fast movie?
She was in the Fast and Furious movie. Exactly. She's everywhere.
Yeah.
So shout out to Brie Larson. But yeah, that's all the trailers I can think of. I can't think of anything else. So yeah. All right, moving on to the next thing. Let's saw something that we saw. Well, let's saw something I saw. I do want to. You saw it too, but before we get there, I'm gonna tee you up. I'm gonna alley-oop you. I do want to let everybody know that the season finale of Velma aired. So it's done. So Velma can no longer hurt you. It's okay.
That was quick.
Yeah, they got in, got out, got that shit done. So yeah, so you don't have to worry about Velma anymore. Now let's talk about a show that Velma was trying to imitate. That actually was pretty good. Harley Quinn, which came back. Well, didn't come back this week, but they had like a special. Like those Marvel specials came out. They basically did a special like that for this one. So yeah. So Eli, I'm gonna let you take over for this because I feel like I've been talking too much. But I'm gonna jump in when I need to. But yeah, people tired of hearing me.
Oh well, this is the Harley Quinn Valentine's Day problematic special or some shit it was called. And it's just like you said. It was just a special. It has nothing to do with like the season or like last season. Ivy joined the Legion of Doom and shit, and
last season she joined the Bat Family.
No, Harley joined the Bat Family, but ain't Ivy joining the Legion of Doom and shit?
Oh, she did. She did do that. Yeah,
there's all this like drama going on the show, but this Valentine's Day special didn't touch on any of that shit.
A little bit. It's like in the background, like Bruce Wayne is in jail. And that happened the last episode, but it's like real quick. It don't have nothing to do with what we got going on right now. So basically, as long as you got an idea of the show, you're fine.
Yeah. So it's just like it's a little one-off, little special, and I laughed my ass off. This show made my week. But it's basically Harley Quinn trying to give Poison Ivy the best Valentine's Day she's ever had and the crazy shit she does to do that. She she like kidnaps, like stages this big huge kidnapping at her favorite restaurant, and then they kill that guy, but then Ivy's like, it was okay and shit. So then she steals Wonder Woman's lasso of truth to try and see if, for the sole purpose of trying to see if that was her favorite Valentine's Day. And she says it wasn't. So then she goes
to top 3,
Yeah. Then she goes to Etrigan the Demon to get some
my boy Etrigan. Anytime Etrigan shows up, I'm like, yes.
Were you disappointed he wasn't rapping? Like there was
he
like,
was
beats?
rapping. He was rapping.
Yeah, but there was like no beats behind it.
There was no beat behind it, but as long as he did have a cadence. He did have a cadence behind it. So I'm like,
he was
give
talking.
me that.
Yeah, Etrigan was talking in rhymes. It was funny as hell. But yeah, so she goes to Etrigan to get a spell to give Poison Ivy the biggest orgasm she's ever had. And she does, and she ends up like infecting the whole Gotham City with like pheromones or whatever, which makes the whole city horny, and they all start fucking each other. And then Bane, holy shit,
the Bane shit was hilarious, man.
Yeah, so Bane is lonely on Valentine's Day, and then he's like wandering the city, lonely and shit. He meets up with a dominatrix.
Who confuses him like an S&M getup?
Yeah, because Bane's in his getup. He's in his fucking S&M uniform. So he ends up accompanying her to like this one of her appointments, and she starts penis shaming the guy. So then Bane starts feeling self-conscious about his penis size. So then he goes to Etrigan. He goes to Etrigan.
Basically buys a boner pill. Basically.
Yeah, he gets like this magic potion from Etrigan, takes it, but then it says don't take it if you have venom or whatever.
Right. But he read it after he took
so the venom, the HGH, and this Etrigan pill ends up growing to like kaiju size. Bane grows a big giant, and then his libido, and then Ivy's pheromones are in the air. He ends up breathing it all in. So he's this big, giant Godzilla-sized Bane who's horny as fuck. And he just goes around fucking buildings.
And sometimes you can see the shadow of his dick when he's walking over people. It's just like, and that's the shit that had me laughing.
Yeah, what was clever is like how they kept covering up his dick. Like there was like a Mack truck. And yeah. Yeah, and then Harley and Ivy has to go stop Bane, stop gigantic Godzilla-sized, horned out Bane from fucking the city to destruction.
Right, and Brett Goldstein from Ted Lasso because he sees him doing a one-man Valentine show.
I didn't know who that was. So
yeah, okay. Remember,
Ted Lasso? I don't watch that show. So.
Okay, Thor: Love and Thunder, Hercules.
Okay,
that guy, same guy.
Okay,
but yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that last, and then, fucking Clayface.
Okay. They did some weird shit with Clayface.
Clayface, he's an actor who gets split apart, and he starts falling in love with his own ass. So it's like he's literally up his own ass the whole time.
But he can't touch his own. But he can't touch it. Because if they touch it, they reabsorb themselves. So
yeah,
they're in love, but they gotta love each other from afar.
That shit was crazy too. This is just zany, fucked up humor right up my alley, and I loved it. I was laughing my ass off, and but there was still a lot of heart to it,
Right? I mean, because at the end of the day, it's still Harley trying to overcommit and overdo a relationship because she's just,
Yes,
she always tried too hard, and that's what always gets her in trouble,
Yeah, I mean, and especially I'm with Poison Ivy. I think Valentine's Day is the stupidest fucking holiday. I think it's totally fucking useless. I think it adds more fights than actual romance.
Pretty much. And most of the time, it's just dudes in the doghouse trying to get their way out of it. Like, this is my last chance for my baby back. I'm going to just post them up since we're talking about Valentine's Day together.
Just put them up over us. They don't want to look at us.
Yeah, just cover us up. Good.
But no, yeah, Poison Ivy. She's just like ain't into Valentine's Day, and here's Harley Quinn, who's trying so hard to do, to validate herself and prove how much she loves,
right. And she's
Poison
thinking
Ivy.
because it's another relationship she's in, and she's trying so hard that she's just doing everything she can, but she didn't understand that sometimes, but at the same time, I think Poison Ivy likes it that Harley tries so hard.
Yeah,
I think she pretends like she doesn't. She does like it.
Yeah, I think. But yeah, I mean, to be with somebody who's like, emotionally draining and like, so very needy, and you know what I mean. Where that how exhausting that can be, in a relationship, and then versus someone who's constantly trying to validate themselves of what somebody else thinks, prove themselves to somebody. They need validation from somebody else and not loving themselves enough. I mean, I think it speaks volumes to like relationships.
Yeah. I mean, but that's how Harley got in this situation to begin with, because that's how Joker was able to get her.
Yeah. And
her not he was able to pinpoint the insecurities.
Her not trusting Ivy. Ivy does love her. Ivy does care about her. Ivy does appreciate what she does. She's just a little low key about it. She's not as, high maintenance as Harley is, and she,
right.
They're two very opposite. They're two opposites. So I thought that was pretty cool and very touching as well. Actually there was a human level of dramatic emotional weight to this whole
with all this insanity that was going on.
Yes, like the crude humor that it was, the crazy shit that was going on. That there was a lot of heart.
Because now when Bane says in the Dark Knight movie, it will be especially painful for you. I'll never listen to that line the same way again. So
yeah, was it grammar was his like turn off or some shit?
Yeah.
Some shit. Yeah, they had to turn him off. They had to figure out.
Right, had to find some way. Otherwise, he was going to fuck the dude from Ted Lasso.
My libido knows no bounds. There's some shit.
Oh man, Bane just came in the fourth floor.
I thought it was great.
Oh man, so we highly recommend it. So here's the thing: instead of hate watching shit all the time, go find stuff you like. Don't worry about Velma. Fuck Velma. Watch Harley Quinn. It's on there. Awesome show. It's funny. All kind of cameo stuff like that. You get Superman and Dark Side with Melania Trump for some reason. I don't know why.
Oh yeah, that was those scenes from When Harry Met Sally.
Yeah.
Those where they have interviews of different couples. They have Superman and Lois. They had Hawkman and Hawkgirl. They had
and Hawkman and Hawkgirl were voiced by the Abbott Academy people. I'm sorry, Abbott Elementary people. But yeah.
I've not watched that yet. I've heard good things.
Good show. They pretty much throw Emmys at that show and awards at it. So yeah.
But yeah, it was like Aquaman and Mira, and just like in Harry Met Sally, they basically talk about the first time they met and stuff like that. So it
ends with Harley and Ivy, talking about how they met. So yeah, I thought that was pretty good. So so it's heartwarming. Yeah.
It was. It really was. Besides, hilarious as fuck if you're into that crude humor like me, but it's also very, very heartfelt. And
so I'm just saying, as far as they went with this show, I'm wondering how they're going to top themselves when the new season come out. If they went this hard. So
5 out of 5. Double thumbs.
5 out of 5 for me too. So that's like the first 5 out of 5 that we agreed on in a while, in like years.
Yeah.
So, but we highly recommend it. If you haven't seen it, go see it. So move on to the next part of the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me get this swole dude off. Okay. Back to us. Yeah. Like I said, it's the Comic Book Bullies, where we talk about the comic books, and we're just gonna jump into it. And we got a lot of books because it came with it this week. Well, I don't know if you like what you read, but I read some stuff. So I'm gonna let you go first. Let's see what you got.
All right. Well, I guess should I do Ghost Rider? I'll do Ghost Rider. I'll start out with Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider number 11. Benjamin Percy continues his run.
Don't he have like a crossover with Wolverine coming out?
He does. It seems like that's what he's probably building up towards, because this was another filler issue, I feel. Just kind of filling in the blanks until something really cool happens. So basically what's been going on in this Benjamin Percy run is Ghost Rider's been traveling around the country. He at first he had a demon called Exhaust within him that Blackheart had, possessed put this demon inside him. So to distract Johnny, while Blackheart went around the country fucking up everything and making it nice and evil to take over, basically bring about hell upon Earth. at some point, Wolverine cut out the exhaust demon, and Johnny Blaze teamed up with this ex-FBI agent who specializes in the occult. Her name was Talia Warroad, and they continued, their adventures of driving around the country, fighting, monsters and demons in different towns and stuff. Kind of like, a monster of the week, scenario. Basically what's been going on in this run. And this one, they're kind of continuing. They defeated Exhaust in the last episode or last issue, and they're still going around the country cleaning up, trying to fight all the demons and monsters that Blackheart has summoned. And there's like a long montage of them, just like a big splash page of different towns, different monsters, them fighting up, kind of cleaning up the mess. At some point, Ghost Rider's new demon cycle comes to life, and they have to fight it. And
they got to fight his cycle. Does he get like another cycle to fight his cycle?
No. The Talia, the FBI agent's like, this thing is actually, because she's like psychic and shit, and she's like, this thing is a bad omen. You got to get rid of this thing because it's kind of, fucking with us. So he tries to get rid of it, but it comes back, and then they end up fighting it, and he ends up destroying it, and they take off in a car, and they're going to Savannah, Georgia. That's one of the other haunted spots, and they get there, and the place is on fire, and it says to be continued. Kind of another lackluster issue. It feels like they're just like, building up towards something. I guess that's what they're doing. They're going to probably bring the Wolverine crossover. So not much happens in this book again for like the second month in a row. It feels this. Well, last issue was like the big finale, and it felt like it was rushed. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And this one, it's just sort of like, it's just filler. They're going to go, meanwhile, they're cleaning up the city, or they're cleaning up the country. And, and then he gets into a fight with his motorcycle, and then that's about it, So, yeah, another 3 out of 5. I still dig, the idea. I like the art. This is probably some of the coolest horror shit I've seen in a Marvel comic in a while. So I'm still on it, and I'll just waiting for that big event to happen, So, yeah.
Cool. I may jump on that when the event come on. Anything I need to fill in, I'm pretty sure you'll fill me in on it. So
yeah.
All right. So what do we got next? First book I'm going to do. Like I said, this is Black History Month. So I'm going to try to do as many Black books as I can find. And luckily for me, or maybe, I don't know, maybe I should look into this. They're not very hard to find this month. There's going to be a lot of like Black superhero books coming out this week. For instance, one is Storm and the Brotherhood of Mutants. So now, the first time I heard about this book, I was like, because I heard about this book like last month. I'm like, why the hell is Storm leading Magneto's old team, the Brotherhood? What the hell does that got to do with anything? But in context, it makes sense. I'll get into it in a second because this all ties into the Sins of Sinister storyline. So basically, at the end of it, we'll just have to go into it. I'll catch you up. So what we have here, Storm and the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. No, not evil mutants, just mutants. There we go. Let's jump into it, see what's going on. All right, so basically what's going on with Storm, it starts off with the beginning of Mars getting destroyed, Storm's home, and it pretty much starts up with the old Martin Scorsese story. I bet you wonder how we got in this situation, They back up, rewind, and basically shows that what happened in Sins of Sinister when Storm is like pissed off at the Quiet Council for all the crazy shit they doing, get called out, finds out that Mr. Sinister is still alive. The Quiet Council tries to mind control her. She escapes, and before she gets to war, Destiny talks her into not going to war. So instead, she goes to Mars and prepares the troop and tells everybody in Mars to get ready for, Mr. Sinister and the Quiet Council to attack. And they do attack, but they weren't ready for the attack because that's when he sends like a planet worth of chimeras attack everything, and they blow up Mars. They just blow up Mars. That's it. So they're gone. Oh, and he's got multiple men, and he's like cloned multiple men, and they all have different X-Men powers, like Angel and whatever and stuff like that, and they just wipe out everybody. So I think Nova dies. I think maybe Storm is just pissed, and they blow up Mars. So, but only a piece of Mars is still around, and they call that piece Asteroid S. S is for Storm, So basically, they're trying to put together a plan on what to do about the Quiet Council, Mr. Sinister. And Storm is pissed off at Destiny because Destiny told Storm not to attack them right then and there. She want to know why you told me not to attack them. And then we see Storm now, and now she's wearing like Magneto's, helmet or whatever. I guess she's doing that so the psychics can't attack her anymore. So cut to it. Oh, I like this little font right here. It's kind of like Star Wars, where hope in the galaxy has died and all the stuff like that. So yeah,
it's like it's in 3. Like you're supposed to wear 3 glasses.
Yeah, they want you to have that effect. It very feels Star Wars right there. That like the title crawl. So so we get to Destiny, and this is just like, look, I told you not to attack them for a reason. Don't worry, the time is coming. She's like, I don't want to hear all that, Destiny. Tell me the reason why. Like if you're even here. And then that's when somebody walks up on Destiny, stabs her, and it turns out it was never Destiny. It was Mystique the whole time, And she's just like, Mystique, why the hell are you here? It's like, because even though Destiny saw the future that you weren't going to kill her, I didn't trust that, so I decided to come myself. But anyway, I'm going to give you the message that Destiny wanted me to give you. And basically the message is, what would you do if Arakko could come back? So basically she can revive Mars, and she's going to tell her how to do it. Basically how to do it, Mr. Sinister has a clone lab of a 10-year-old Moria McTaggart stuck in his lab right now. And basically how Moria McTaggart's powers work is that when she dies, the timeline gets reset. So what Mr. Sinister is going to do, once he's tired of this timeline, he's just going to kill her and reset the timeline. So all you have to do, Storm, is find her, kill this 10-year-old Moria McTaggart, reset the timeline, everything's back to normal. That's it. She's like, well, that sounds pretty easy. Okay. And she gets the Brotherhood together, and they got the plan. Let's go kill this 10-year-old. So yeah. So she gathers and here's the list of the Brotherhood, and they got a whole bunch of Cables on the team, Whiz Kids on the team. At the very bottom, it says guest starring Mystique, but it's got like a question mark on it. So you're like, maybe she's here. And basically they tell Storm and the Brotherhood where they are. Cable does his body slide by 7. And they're at Moria Island because, of course, Mr. Sinister is a comedian. Of course, he's going to put the base of the clone Moria at the bottom of Moria's old base, So, but of course, when they get there, it's heavily protected by a bunch of other chimeras, and they all get attacked, and they get rushed down, So Storm tells them, okay, y'all protect them, and I'm going to go down to the bottom of his base and find out what's at the bottom of Mr. Sinister's base. So she calls forth this typhoon and burrs a hole directly all the way to the bottom of Moria Island. And just like, well, damn, Storm, if you that strong, why the hell you needed us? And the other guy's like, well, she don't need us. And so like, no, I might need you. I might need you just in case of a situation like this. So they go all the way down to the bottom. She uses her wind powers to help them fly there. When they get there, they see a bunch of other chimeras there waiting for them to protect this big ball that has like this impenetrable force around. Like nobody can break this fortress because basically Sinister used every single mutant that has like armored powers and put it on that thing, like Unity Untouchable and all the people like that, So basically they got to fight these monsters and find a way around it. But WizKid has a way around it. He's like, how about this? Instead of us trying to break into the ball to find out what's in the ball, why don't we just teleport the entire ball out of here? And there you go. So and then we'll figure out how to stop it, how to get him break into it later on. That way we won't have to worry about Mr. Sinister forces. So they get there, and while they're fighting, they get this big lightning bolt that comes through. But they look around the lightning bolt, they see Mystique kind of fading away. They're like, wait a minute, Mystique was never here? So yeah, Mystique was never there. Mystique was actually here. She was WizKids the whole time. And the reason why that other guy couldn't pick up on Mystique this time, because like he did last time, is because Mystique was basically using Tails to fake him out. She's like, if I really wanted to have it where you couldn't tell who I was, you wouldn't. I made you think you knew who I was. So she stabbed Storm in the gut, teleported that ball to somewhere else other than Asteroid S, and she teleported out of herself. So Storm is just bleeding out right now. He's like, I failed you, Goddess. I failed you. And Storm's like, don't worry. Mystique didn't kill me, and Mr. Sinister can't kill me either. So we fast forward to some other place in space somewhere, and we see Destiny. And basically Destiny's talking to somebody, and this is like, okay, so why don't you want the timeline reset? She's like, isn't it obvious? I'm alive and my wife is alive here. As long as we're alive, I don't really give a shit what happens to the rest of the world. The world can go to hell for all I care. Mr. Sinister can have his fun, so I don't want Mr. Sinister to reset the timeline. And that's when the bubble opens up and this guy is there. Who is this guy? I don't know. To be continued. So, yeah. So that's the story. I thought it was pretty cool. It was interesting. It caught my attention. There is going to be another part in this, but I think the next storyline is going to be like 100 years in the future. So I don't know how Storm is going to be there. So, yeah. So,
right.
yeah.
All right. Well,
the Brotherhood.
I guess I'll move on to Daredevil. So you didn't read this?
I had to give you this one, man. I had to give you this one.
You
I feel like I play a crew. Yeah, I read it.
Oh, okay. Well, you can help me out then.
I don't know how much I can help you out because I read this book and I was like, what the fuck? Before we get there, the reason I like the book, because we actually got like a meme on our page that's kind of like trending right now. Because all I did is open the book and I just saw this. Now, like, what the fuck is this? And I put the poster up and I was just like, yes, this is a Daredevil comic. Like, what the fuck, Marvel? What the hell? How is this? Ain't street level. Devil is supposed to be street level. What street is this? So for people that can't tell right now, and Eli's gonna break it down, but that is Punisher riding a dragon while they're fighting a ninja war with undead assassins with other shit going on.
Ninja zombies and shit.
Ninja zombies. But this is Daredevil. So Daredevil, I don't. Yeah. That's why I feel like, oh yeah, I missed some shit. You know how when you play a video game and you haven't played it in a while and you pick it up like a month later and you're like, what the fuck am I? That's what this is.
Or you're playing a game and then your brother comes home while you're at work and fucking beats the game for you and shit, and you pick it up and like, what the fuck?
That's what this is. So this is like part 8 of this story, and I don't know what the hell is going on. I'm like, what? Where the fuck a dragon come from? But yeah.
Well, to your credit, I did not read any of the Ninja Punisher shit. So I don't know where the dragon came from either. The whole Jason era Ninja Punisher where he joins the Hand and
because this is all tied into that. So
leading the Hand and shit. Well, yeah, I didn't read any of that shit, but that's what Punisher's doing. He's the leader of the Hand now. They got a dragon, I guess. I don't know. He doesn't have guns anymore. He's got swords.
And a dragon. Why you need guns if you got a dragon? Like, okay.
Yeah, man, you've been doing it wrong this whole time.
What do you do? Pew pew and my dragon? Like shit.
And well, as far as Daredevil, Daredevil and Elektra, they're now married. Fat T is apologizing 20 years later. So Daredevil and Nacho. What's her name? Elektra Machado?
Oh, like Nacho Libre? Wait, I do hear Elektra Nachiosi?
Something like that. Anyways, Daredevil and Elektra are married. They're leading the Fist, which is the ninja clan that was supposed to destroy the Hand back in some ancient prophecy.
Not the Foot. That is something completely different.
Yeah, that's the
Nothing to do with Daredevil.
Ninja Turtles were parodying, making fun of the Daredevil universe.
Right.
Excuse me. So yeah, Daredevil and Elektra, they got this new ninja clan. They're trying to build up their army because Frank Castle and the Hand been going around the world assassinating leaders and shit and doing fucked up shit. So they're trying to build their army. So they like broke into that one super villain. It ain't the Raft. It ain't the Negative Zone. There's some other
Myriad. I've never heard of it before.
I forget what it was, but they broke out a bunch of super villains to recruit for their army. And so here's their first battle. They have their big first battle. Yes, it's ninjas versus zombie ninjas versus dragons versus super villains versus just a big giant battle going on. And it basically gets to the essence of Daredevil and Punisher's conflict. Daredevil is a man of God. He's Catholic. He believes he's, doing good. It's basically good and evil. Daredevil's good. Frank is evil. Daredevil is God. Frank is the devil. That type of the total biblical symbolism going on. And of course, Matt is narrating everything. How he's and his whole philosophy, like, Frank is like, you broke murderers out of prison and shit, and Daredevil's like, hey, I believe that there's good in people and I'm reforming them. They're fighting for good now.
Which is why he break out these supervillains, right?
Yeah, they're repenting,
because Stiltman is on the team.
Yeah, a bunch of supervillains are on, like, but he's like, you know what? And it's like, I let you live too long, Frank. I thought, the reason why I never killed you before is because you were removing scum off the street. You were actually doing some good. But now you've totally dedicated yourself to evil, and now I got to put you down. So they have this big knock him down, drag out fight. He doesn't kill Frank. They beat the shit out of each other. Even Elektra, she gets fucked up too. And they end up losing the battle, but they escape. And they said, this is just the first battle. We're going to win this war, blah, 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 blah. At the end of the book, the very last page, they had some sort of magic veil or whatever over their battle. So the Avengers could not see where they were. Well, now that veil is lifted, and Tony Stark and Cap, they're all like, "Oh,
because they're pissed at Daredevil for breaking out those supervillains."
They're like, "There's Daredevil. He broke out all those supervillains. Well, let's go get him." So that's basically where the book ends. This is crazy. I don't know how to feel about Punisher riding the dragon and Ninja Punisher. I never thought that was
we've never seen that before, but is there something we need to see?
Yeah, mean, sure.
Is this a bend don't break situation, or or are we jumping the shark?
You want to expand on the character, fine. And they did. I wasn't into it.
This is giving me Batman in space vibes. And it's written by the same guy.
No shit. No shit.
So that's what I picked this up. Just like, okay, so Chip Zdarsky has been hitting the good weed lately. So okay,
But I do appreciate, on a philosophical level, the dynamic between Matt and Frank, Daredevil and Punisher. They were opposites, end of the law.
But Daredevil you can tell this story without dragons and zombies.
Yeah.
They can just be on the rooftop just doing the same shit,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's all this biblical symbolism, Frank operates outside the law. Matt Murdock is a lawyer who represents the law, but always the thing I loved about the Punisher, he's always pointed out the hypocrisy of characters like Daredevil or Batman,
because he works outside the law, even though he's a lawyer.
I mean, Daredevil and Batman and Spider-Man, they break the law because the system doesn't work in catching these criminals. So they are actually breaking the law themselves to catch these criminals, only to let these criminals' fate be judged by the very system that is broken.
Just like in The Dark Knight Returns, when Frank Miller had Batman say to Alfred, we're criminals, Alfred. We always have been.
Yeah. Yeah. And Frank is like, fuck yeah, no, just kill him. So I always
let God sort them out. Just send them all.
Yeah, I always like that dynamic. It's like Punisher points out the hypocrisy in these do-gooder, characters. And as far as and I can appreciate the biblical undertones, but to me, I view it as order and chaos. Daredevil's all about order, and Frank is a storm. Frank is a hurricane. Frank is chaos. Yin and yang, so to speak. They both they're opposite forces, but they both have a bit of each other within themselves. There's good in Frank, there's darkness in Daredevil. And
now my thing is, I hope they didn't have a situation where they're saying that Frank is being mind controlled. I hate that shit. Let him do this shit on his own free will, because just like when he was in the Secret Empire and Nazi Cap was like recruiting people, like Punisher wasn't mind controlling Kurt. He was like, sign me up. Let's go. So I hope
Mhm.
it's the same situation here where if he is, in a ninja army, stuff like that, like he did it on his own free will. He wasn't mind controlled or anything like that. He just, because even in this, he just said, I don't give a shit about none of the shit you're doing, Daredevil. I just care about the mission. That's it.
Yeah.
Because I think Daredevil thinks he's mind controlled.
And I don't know. Like I said, I have not read that Punisher, the Ninja Punisher run. I don't know. I haven't read it, but I heard that the Hand resurrected Frank's wife.
She was in the first issue.
Yeah, to get him to join. And I was like, I don't know that Frank would like be that pussy whip to do that.
I think he would. I mean, he's already murdering everybody because of his wife to begin with anyway. So if they can resurrect her, which they can.
Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to fight for basically essentially a criminal organization. That's my thing.
But they kind of, but here's the thing. If they're criminal, but he's not working for them, they're working for him.
So I didn't read that, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like the Hand is doing what he wants them to do.
Okay,
so
see,
they're his
I
army.
don't know.
Yeah. But
yeah.
I'm not trying to sell you on it. I'm not trying to sell you on it. Just say it.
Yeah. But yeah, Frank is more of a force of nature. He's more he just represents like a storm. Just just chaos. He does have a code though. He does have, like I said, there is goodness in Frank, and then there's the Order that is Daredevil, who's all about lawyer and, keeping the law and order, but he has a darkness within him himself too, whereas Daredevil was sort of his character, like his abilities were born out of the dark, and he lives in total darkness because he's blind.
Yeah.
Because
I didn't read that storyline, but hell, Daredevil took over the Hand one time.
Yeah.
That Shadowland shit. I didn't read that story, but yeah.
Yeah. But Daredevil like sort of went through the darkness and came out, whereas Frank stays in the darkness.
Right.
But
even in this story, I like it when he was like the reason, because Punisher trying to tell Daredevil, God is dead. God died when my wife and kids died. And Daredevil was like, nah, my God is alive because you're alive, because I'm letting you live right now.
Yeah.
But what if God wanted me to be your Punisher? I was like, okay,
that was pretty cool. Like cool I said, the darkness of Daredevil coming out, which I thought, like I said, on a philosophical level, I enjoyed that. Those little like his narration and beats. I did enjoy that about this comic, but the dragons and the swords, I don't know.
Like this shit looked like some anime Naruto shit, man. Like the Fourth Ninja War or some shit. This doesn't look like Daredevil.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to pigeonhole. Daredevil has to be on the streets and has to be mobsters and shit. And one thing I did like about Daredevil is there is ninjas in it.
Yeah,
but I don't know about Ninja Punisher. So yeah, I don't know about the aesthetics of this book. Was like, but I did like the topics that it brings up. The nature, the two opposite natures of these characters colliding once again. Which I did appreciate. So,
and plus he's a hypocritical. Like I said, Daredevil's married to an assassin. So
yeah. But he's trying to save her or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever want to justify. However, people justify things. But yeah,
I can change her. Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5. I'm not into the whole dragon shit, even though I think dragons are cool. But like
and the way he drew the dragon looks cool.
Yeah,
on there, so.
like Daredevil and Punisher, I expect. I'm not trying to pigeonhole it, but I expect a street level sort of crime noir, not this fantastical, Lord of the Rings shit. But whatever.
And some people, I show this panel to some people like, well, the Disney Plus episode show isn't like this. I don't want it.
Yeah. So I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5. It was definitely interesting. So
I give it a 3.5 out of 5 also, but I think my 3.5 out of 5 is higher than your 3.5 out of 5, but still 3.5 out of 5. So
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So next book I'm going to do is Bishop War College. So it's I feel like
X books, huh? You're just X.
I'm doing it. Well, I'm doing black books. but they just happen to be X books. So it's like, I'll do it both. So yeah, so a reason I picked this up because yes, Bishop has a book. He's a black superhero. First time having a book, black writer. So technically I kind of have to pick it up, even though it's kind of like one of those mini series and things like that. So yeah, we're gonna talk about it. And yes, you see on the cover right there, you see Bishop with a bunch of black X-Men. What does that mean? Nothing for this book. So I'm just letting you know that right now. It's just clickbait. They do show up later on, but it really has nothing to do with the story. So let's just jump into it. Why does Bishop have his own book? So let's go to it. Before we get there, I do want you to know this letter right here is a letter written by Danny Moonstar.
No shit.
She's sending a letter to the Quiet Council saying that Bishop needs to step down as Captain Commander. And we'll find out why.
So it's the BIPOC men.
It's the right.
The BIPOC X-Men.
Honestly, that's why I picked it up because Danny Moonstar was inside. Like, let me read this shit, see what Eli said about it. So yeah, all right. So Bishop is yelling at okay. So the name of the book is War College. It's called War College is because Bishop basically started like a military school to train the kids of Krakoa to stay ready for war. In this case, war pops out because basically he's like they're getting fat and lazy on Krakoa because they're in paradise. So that's the whole thing about that. So he's like pushing these kids hard they've ever been again, until the kids just like, enough, time out. I'm done with this shit. Fuck you, Bishop. I ain't doing this shit no more. I'm out. The kids get mad and they leave. They're like, you pushing us too hard. And they get in an argument and they leave. And as soon as they leave, that's when, so they leave. And that's when Danny Moonstar shows up. And she's just like, I told you, Bishop. I told you quit pushing them, And she's like, I gotta push him because you never know when the next threat is coming. And if we don't push him now, then they're gonna be soft when the threat comes. And she's just like, look, I had a conversation with the Quiet Council and the other war captains, and they don't like the way you're doing this shit. And Bishop is like, wait, why did you talk to the war captains without me? I'm the captain commander. You talk to me and I talk to them. She's like, well, be that as it may, we're all in agreement. This is your last day at the war college. We're kicking you out. You're no longer captain commander after this. Like, oh shit. Yeah, we're taking the kids away from you. So, and that's pretty much it. Yeah. So yeah, Danny Moonstar say you suck. Bishop stays and stares off in the sunset, just like, am I too hard on these kids? And then he walks away, and as soon as he walks away, that's when some bad guys show up. The Strucker twins, or Fenris twins, whatever you want to call them. Nazi mutants and shit like that. So they're here, and it's like, I'm glad Bishop left. Now we can attack the island and do whatever the fuck we're gonna do. So yeah, so they're doing their thing, but they're sneaking in someplace. Oh, and now we got to talk about the kids. Teenage drama. Don't care.
Dude, that's what the X-Men.
That's what the X-Men are. I get it. I'm supposed to be all CW and shit, but I don't care. Yeah. So Bishop is having nightmares because he always has nightmares basically about the future because, it comes from this dystopian future where everything's fucked up. So that's why he's pushing these kids so hard because in his mind, he still thinks that future is coming back. Opens the door, sees a bunch of skulls because that's how he grew up, and he wakes up, and he's like, oh shit, now I got to keep pushing these kids because if I don't, they're not going to be ready for the future that I grew up in, So he basically tells the kids, okay, I got you kids for one more day because they're kicking me out. They're shutting down the college. So we're going to do one more training session. So he takes them to the, the base all the way to the bottom, and they meet this, other mutant named Tempo. And Tempo has the power to like loop time. So basically what you're going to do, since I got you for one more day, we're going to loop this day over and over again, like Groundhog's Day. And you kids are going to train until I get this shit right. And after that, I'm going to see you back to the top. I'm going to quit. I'm going to get kicked out. And that's going to be it. So they in the time bubble and he just trains them again. And that's when the Strucker twins show up. And basically they start causing all kind of havoc and stuff like that. So they're like, oh shit, we got to stop the Strucker twins. So when they stop the Strucker twins, Tempest's powers get all out of control and shit like that, trying to stop them. It interferes with like Bishop's powers, and they get sucked in like another time loop. Oh, and the kids get hit with some kind of mutant goo that takes away their powers, so they have the powers, And Bishop gets sucked into another. He gets sucked. Both him and Temple get sucked to a time portal, and they teleport into like another dimension, I think. And they go to cut to the end. Here we go. Yeah, he wakes up at the Xavier Mansion, which had been torn down, and he sees the Black X-Men. To be continued. So yeah. So this was clickbait. They want you to keep reading the next issue to find out what's going on about the Black X-Men. I don't give a shit about the Black X-Men from another multiverse. We've seen this shit before. So I've been bamboozled, but that's okay. I'll let you give me one time. So that's yeah.
Score, man.
I'm trying to see, should I even give it a 3? It's 2.5. 2.5. This was a fucking waste of time. The reason it was fucking waste. It was a fucking waste of time because they advertised it as Black X-Men, but they don't show up to the very end. They're like, oh, check out the next issue for the Black X-Men. You had one time to get me. You didn't get me. I'm out. So yeah.
All right. Well, I'll do Alien number 6. This wraps up that story arc about Steel Team. The Steel Team story arc. Now, Steel Team is an army mercenary group of synthetics, the androids from the Alien universe. They were commissioned to go to a planet that was overrun by aliens because the science facility on that planet has alien DNA that could save humanity from this viral outbreak. Except the thing that happened is they nuked this, Weyland-Yutani, the evil corporation, nuked this city, this planet, and now the whole planet is radiation. So no humans can go there. So that's why they send in these androids to go fetch this DNA. On the planet, they encountered human survivors who have survived the radiation on this planet by taking some of the DNA of the alien. And so now they're able to survive. They end up betraying the synthetics. They lead the synthetics into the alien hive and then just leave them there to get killed by the aliens. They're saying no, they're fuck humanity. Fuck the government. Fuck Weyland-Yutani. Fuck the corporations. They're not getting this fucking DNA, and they're not going to save themselves. So fuck them. And they leave the synthetics in the hive. So there's a big fight. Synthetics escape. One of the human survivors, the leader, this woman, I forget her name, she ends up having a side effect from the alien DNA, and she mutates into this alien chick hybrid. She looks like the Species. Remember that movie Species?
Oh yeah, I remember Species.
Yeah, kind of looks like her. The synthetics, a bunch of them get destroyed by the aliens except the 2. They never get the DNA, but there's a survivor, a child, who they're like, well, we don't need the serum. Let's just take this kid because he's got the DNA inside him. It's part of him. He's a host. He just uses blood. But then one of the synthetics throws the kid, says, fuck humanity, too. And he throws the kid down into the pit with the aliens. The female synthetic goes down there and saves the kid and fights her way out, jumps on the ship. They end up escaping. She ends up talking to the other synthetic, saying, convinces him, like, no, we're not going to throw this kid away. This kid, yes, humanity sucks. Humans are fucked up, but this kid isn't like that. He's a child. He hasn't been corrupted by, the malice of humanity yet. So he has a chance to be good. So let's make him that way. So basically these 2 synthetics take this child off planet. And they're going to raise this child. One of the things that I found interesting is that at the end of this book is they make a connection to Prometheus. I hated I hated that movie. Thought it sucked. But and Alien Covenant, But I did find David, the android, interesting. He was the only thing interesting about that movie.
Michael Fassbender.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the one synthetic that hated humanity is like basically he's remembering what David said and how basically it's in humanity's nature to destroy itself, and no matter how far, whatever technological advances that they make and how far they travel into the universe, they are still drawn to their own destruction, which I found very deep. And basically it's a machine that is saying this to so kind of a sense of irony that these two machines are going to take care of this child that can save humanity. So there's a whole savior, the machines, and this human child is a savior. So a lot of deep themes going on there that I haven't processed yet, but I did think was pretty cool. Read into it what you will, and that's the thing. These alien comics, they've been okay, the Marvel ones, but they still touch upon the deep philosophical themes that alien movies have within them, as far as, motherhood and the nature of humanity and and sex as a machine of a reproduction factory, and all the H.R. Giger imagery that's what it is. Bodies are the biomechanical. Our bodies are just machines. Reproductive factories and stuff like that. Very phallic symbols. Taboo subjects we don't really like to think about, but the alien movies sort of touch upon them. And I think this comic and that one about the religious colony really delved into a lot of religious commentary on creationism and all that stuff. So I do appreciate the ideas that the alien comics have been bringing up. But yeah, I mean, this whole weird alien hybrid stuff is, it's all right. And Weyland Yutani as the big villain still they're running kind of dry as a villain, I guess. Since they're a company that can just basically do anything. But but I still dug on this arc. I'll give it a 4 out of 5.
Okay, very good. Just hanging in there. All right. So, like I said, we're going to do. Let me see if I can get this set up. Don't crash on me. Please don't crash on me. Cool. It's not gonna crash on me. I'm still here. Awesome. I'm still here. Okay. So we're gonna do a retro book. We've been doing retro books on this book for a while. Like I said, this is Black History Month. So I'm going to do a Black History book, even though you have Scarlet Witch on the cover, but it is technically a Black History book I'm doing. This is a Black History superhero book, and this book is featuring Black Panther. Yes, T'Challa. So, and since he is an Avenger, it's an Avengers book where he kind of steals the show. So I'm going to just kind of tell you what the book is. Basically, this is a classic story that really so many people talk about, where Black Panther versus Red Skull. That's this book. So it's basically, we're going to start there. Let's see if I can give that right here. There you go. Okay, so we're just going to start with it and just go from there. So the book starts off. This is the 6th issue of Red Zone. That's the name of this story. It was called Red Zone. And it was written by Jeff Johns. It's the only Jeff Johns Avengers run that we ever had. See if I get there. I can't get there. Okay, so the book starts off with Kara Danvers, who goes by, this is a book from the 90s. She goes by Warbird. And what she's doing is doing a pentagram, one of them, in the middle of a town. I'm sorry, I don't know that part. And
well,
she's
doing it. Pentagon is the shape of a stop sign.
Pentagon? What did I say? Pentagon?
No, that's an octagon.
Octagon.
Pentagon is like the shape. A pentagram is a star.
Pentagram is a star. Pentagon is one of them. She's doing one of them. I can't remember which one. Whatever that is, she's doing that. Is that a pentagram? Pentagram?
Yeah, that's a pentagram.
That's pentagram. Okay, she's doing a pentagram. Okay, we're here. It's because Scarlet Witch is going to do some magic-y, witchcrafty bullshit, but she needs like a pentagram to do her magic-y, witchy bullshit. But while they're doing a pentagram, we cut to the Pentagon of Washington, D.C. That's why I got confused. They're Washington, D.C. So now I got to get you caught up what's going on right now. So Red Skull evil plan has been revealed. This is the last issue of this story. Basically, his evil plan is that he has enlisted a virus in South Dakota. This virus is a flesh-eating virus that is eating plants, trees, people, whatever like that. And he has blamed the attack on Wakanda. Everybody thinks Wakanda attacked South Dakota.
Ebola.
Exactly. So he think it came from there. But the thing is, the Red Skull has been posing as the Secretary of Defense for like years. So he's in the American government. That's why he's able to do this stuff. And he had the American government working for him, feeding him information on the Avengers. So he knows everything about the Avengers. So while he's talking all this shit, saying I'm gonna blame this attack on Wakanda, and I'm gonna have America bomb and nuke Wakanda, you're not gonna do anything about it. And Iron Man trying to tell him, like, the child, just chill out. He's trying to get under your skin. We need to find Captain America, because Captain America has been infected with this virus. You know, we need to concentrate and get to it. He's like, T'Challa? And T'Challa not even listen to him. He just rushes right at Red Skull. Bam, gets a good shot in on him. He was like, oh, and Iron Man's like, well, I'm gonna let you two talk it out while I go find Cap. So while he gets ready to find Cap, Red Skull hits a button on his watch, shuts down Iron Man. How did he shut down Iron Man? Because he had the government give him all the Avengers files and stuff like this. So he has files on all the Avengers except for one, Black Panther. Why? Because Black Panther didn't trust the Avengers, so he never put his information in there to begin with. So that's when Red Skull is like, I got information on all the Avengers except for you, Black Panther, or should I say T'Challa, just slaps him out of the window. He's just like, see there, you fucking subhuman. And he's just saying all kind of just racist shit to Black Panther the whole time. I'm like, wow, Marvel like really going there, you know? Yeah, he's just like, I never should have trusted you anyway, Black Panther. But your people never listen, you know? So that's when he goes back to Iron Man, and he sees Iron Man fucked up. He was like, how did you find out about me? He like, reason I know about you, Iron Man, is because I got all the information of you. Your boy Henry Guy, who is your liaison, has been feeding me information the whole time. So I know how to shut your suit down. And so he has Captain America and like, oh, subhuman. This animal continues to fight. So he's saying all this shit to Black Panther, you know, and he's just like, well, go ahead, try to fight me again. And same thing's going to happen the same way it happened before. And matter of fact, when I do take the role of the Secretary of Defense again, I'm going to make sure that I wipe the entire continent of Africa off the map just because of you. And you and your kind won't do anything from us. He's going to do like a genetic cleansing. And he's just like, well, what do you think about that, animal? You know, and he just saying this shit here. So Black Panther just starts taking off his gloves. He's like, okay, Red Skull, this is what I think about this. I'm going to break your jaw. How about that? You know, so then they start rushing each other, and then you just got it, and he just like, those filthy animal hands will not touch me. So you got to remember, Red Skull is a super soldier. People forget about that. So he's on the same level as Captain America. So he's actually giving Black Panther the hands. Meanwhile, Falcon's chained up also. So technically, it's like a Falcon book also, another Black book, you know. So Falcon's knocked out. He's been chained up because he got his ass kicked before. And meanwhile, Red Skull's like smashing Black Panther's head up against the glass, just beating the hell out of him. You know, he just like, you see, you say you laid the seeds for your own downfall, Panther, for not trusting the Avengers. Your kind always does, you know. And then that's when Black Panther like kicks him in the nuts, you know. They just give him the hand, starts beating the shit out of him. And meanwhile, yeah, they both get each other's hands. And Iron Man realized that the only Captain America's not breathing anymore. So what he's gonna have to do is give him mouth to mouth, but he's gonna expose himself to the virus. Meanwhile, they, you know, kiss. So yeah. And die, animal. He's still saying racist shit to him the whole time while kicking his ass, you know. But Henry Gavin like kicks him a little bit, and that's just enough for Black Panther to get an edge on him. So and Falcon wakes up. So here's the thing about Falcon is that around this time, Jeff John gave him a new power where he didn't just control Red Ring, he controls all birds. So he like has a swarm of birds just fly through the window and it's all attack Red Skull. So it's enough to distract Black Panther just enough to get some good shots in on him. So he just knocks him out and they're like, I told you, Skull. Bam! I was gonna break your jaw. But your kind never listens, you know. So that's when he goes back, you know, finally breaks Cap and Tony out of the cage. But he realized that Cap's still been hit with that virus. So he needs an antivirus to get him out of it. And he realized that Red Skull must have antibodies protected from it. So he was like, Skull, I'm gonna need your blood. And just cut to the next scene. Meanwhile, they find an antivirus, they find the cure, they spray South Dakota with it, save South Dakota, even though, you know, like 18,000 people have died or some shit, you know, a lot of people. Cut to the end. George Bush shows up. And thanks to the Avengers. W. Yeah, W shows up. Yeah. The book's not that old. Oh, so it's not 90s, it's like 2000. Sorry about that. It's 2000 when this book came out. Anyway, he shows up thanks to the Avengers, hires Warbird to be the new chief of security of Homeland, and tells Captain America, if we ever do some weird shit, because Captain America basically tell him, like, you got more Red Skulls in the government. They don't look like Red Skull, they're not Red Skull, but they think the same way he thinks. And if I find out who they are, I'm kicking their ass. That's how the book ends. So yeah. So technically, I'm gonna count that as a Black Panther book. I'm gonna count it as a Black Panther book, even though he's in it. You got a bunch of Avengers, but he beats Red Skull's ass, so I'm gonna go with it. So yeah. So, and matter of fact, if you read a bunch of Red Skull's books from like the 80s and the 90s, he's pretty much saying like fucked up shit to everybody he fights. Like one book where he beat the shit out of Black Widow, he was saying all kind of shit to her. Mandarin, people like that. But and I think that's why they killed it, because they realized that Red Skull is kind of problematic, because you got to remember, okay, yeah, he's a Nazi saying this stuff, but at the same time, there's somebody writing this stuff saying this. So yeah. So anyway,
gotta get the realism, man.
Exactly. The writer of Marvel, like, what? How would a Nazi think? Let me write this. So yeah. So what else you got? I'm booked out. So yeah.
All right. Well, I'll do this last one. I was debating whether or not doing this, but I might as well. Fuck it. I saved the image. So,
okay.
Mr. Fixit number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Did you read this?
I did not. Sorry. I'm gonna get caught up on all the Peter David stuff with you.
All right. So this is a return to Mr. Fixit, Peter David. Hope he's doing okay. I heard he's been having health problems, so hope he's doing okay.
Yeah, that's why they're kind of cranking all these books out right now. Just.
Yeah. So basically, the Kingpin is trying to take over Vegas. He's trying to expand his empire, and he goes to what's the guy's name? Mandatelli, or what's his name? I forget. The boss of Vegas.
The mobster.
Yeah, the mobster of Vegas, trying to take over this territory. Problem is, he's got Joe Fixit working for him. Now, for those who don't know who Joe Fixit is, he is an offshoot of the Hulk, another personality who basically went to Vegas and was like a mob enforcer in Vegas, gray-skinned Hulk. And so he's working for this mobster. The Kingpin tries to take over the territory and gets his ass whooped by Joe Fixit. So this issue, Kingpin is trying to figure out a way to beat the Hulk. He's coming up with some weird serum or some weird neurotoxin that can basically make him control people. And he's testing it out on different supervillains and what have you. Meanwhile, Spider-Man's there investigating shit. He just threw Spider-Man in there, I feel.
Because you got to sell books, so yeah.
Yeah. So this is my favorite scene in the book. This whole conversation. Kingpin goes to the casino. He finds, goes in the lounge and sees Joe Fixit just chilling at the bar. And he basically says, hey, how much you getting paid? Because I'll double it. I'll triple it. And Joe Fixit, hey, let me get a drink. And the drink comes and he just throws it on, on the Kingpin's face. That's what I love. I love seeing Wilson Fisk just get punked,
Right, because it's the Hulk. What is he gonna do?
Yeah, what's he gonna do to the Hulk?
Right.
So that's what's funny. I like seeing the Kingpin getting knocked off the pedestal. So but then Wilson Fisk ends up putting that neurotoxin onto Joe Fixit and says, "Okay, go smash." So Hulk ends up hulking out and starts fucking up the place. Spider-Man goes in there and it basically turns into Spider-Man versus the Hulk, or Joe Fixit Hulk, for the rest of the book. He's on to the Kingpin. Spider-Man knows what the Kingpin is up to. They trade blows and stuff. But that's about it. It's Joe Fixit turns on Spider-Man and starts fighting Spider-Man. That's kind of where it ends. So we'll get the big Spider-Man versus Hulk battle next issue. So it's okay. It's a little fun. There's some funny moments. But I don't know if I'm gonna. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna wait. If I'm gonna get the next issue, just wait till it drops on the Marvel app. and read the rest. So, but this
Yeah.
was all right. This was a good 3 out of 5. Like I said, I like this funny moment. Watching Kingpin get his ass whooped for a change is fun. But it just turns into another superhero battle between the Hulk and Spider-Man. So, 3 out of 5.
Cool. All right. So you got any more?
Oh, that's it.
I'm booked out too. I was gonna do static, but I like it's more static. Yeah. Plus Icon
do Bishop instead, though.
Yeah, why did I do Bishop? I don't know. Oh, yeah, like I said, if you listen to this long, if you like, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching or listening or whatever like that. Cause like I said, just watching and listening actually helps us out also. So yeah. Especially if you actually watch it. Clicking and leaving doesn't help. Shout out to people that do it, but if you do it, that didn't help it.
Commenting, all y'all commenting.
Yeah, all you commenting. So yeah, chat. Basically, if you watch it up until this point, shout out to you. Yeah, you helped us out.
And shout out to the Outright Geekery and all those crews and
shout out to them. They helping us out. Yeah. So like I said, next time we will see you, Valentine's Day will have passed. So good luck, Godspeed.
Yeah.
May the Hunger Games, favor you or whatever.
Yeah.
Oz favor your way. What is that shit they said? I can't remember that damn movie. May the odds be favor in your favor or something like that.
Oh yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Be excellent to each other.
Exactly. Oh, one more thing. Also, shout out to
I
Dave
heard about this.
On De La Soul. Yeah.
Yeah. I heard about that. Yeah.
Now, to be honest with you, I'm actually not really a big De La Soul fan. Shocking, but I mean, like I said, I know a bunch of people. I know a bunch of people. I have a bunch of friends that are friends with De La Soul. I met one of the members from De La Soul one time. I just want to say this one time. Not him, but the other one. The tall one, dark-skinned one. Okay. Met him in Miami. Like I didn't even recognize him because he walked in with his girlfriend. His girlfriend was like so fine. So like you don't even notice him. And he said we was like in a diner or something like that. He sat down right next to us. And
I was on her?
No, I wouldn't hit no. But I was with my buddy. We were in Miami. We were in Miami at the time.
No, man. Hey, man, I'm talking to this lady.
And then we fist fight like, no, we. But it was just weird because he was sitting like that. I was with my buddy. And we were in Miami. We were like, is that who we think it is? So we looked, and he looked away because he knew we were looking at him. Then he looked back at us, and we looked away. So we kind of like made each other nervous, and then I think we made him nervous. He just up and left. But yeah, that's my story with De La Soul. That's all I got. So yeah. So
well, they were more of a. They seem more down to earth than more rap. Especially at the time. I mean, with all the gangster rap going on and
yeah, but at the time when they come out, gangster rap wasn't really popular at the time. Yeah. They were like right before gangster rap popped, and I think that's kind of what hurt them. Because when gangster rap kind of took off, they kind of got
well, 3 Feet High. That was like I'll admit I wasn't the biggest De La fan either. I had more appreciated as I got older.
Yeah,
but yeah, I just they seem more down to earth and more laid back and
they wanted to have fun, things like that. They were like hippies for the 90s. Yeah.
Well, Fat T had Stakes is High or was that CD? Mm-hmm. He that's something. My brother, he was the hip hop head. I was the metal guy, and we our sister was into that. Yeah. We sort of crossed over. I got into some of his music. He got into some of my music. So yeah, he was more the hip hop guy than I was, and I just sort of heard what he had.
I just never got into him. I just want to hear gangster rap back then, so I heard De La Soul, and they was like skateboarding and whatever the fuck they were doing.
Yeah, I don't know,
flowers and I'm like, I don't want to hear this shit. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put it like that for you, because I know there's some big De La Soul fans on here that listen to us.
Yeah, but like Tribe, like I was in the Tribe Called Quest back then. That's what they kind of reminded me of, like the Far Side.
They all kind of like hung together and stuff.
Yeah, Far Side and Tribe. I mean, more laid back stuff. Which was refreshing. Well, at the time, I was like younger and more aggro. Yeah, I was listening to Public Enemy and the more angry.
I'm like, do I want to listen to De La Soul or NWA? I mean, I'm just saying.
That I was into, and these guys were laid
Ice
back.
Cube? Give me that,
Yeah. So,
but I didn't mean to talk bad about him, but
yeah. But good journey to him.
Yeah. All right. Well, check us out next week. We'll have some new stuff. Until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
We'll talk to you guys.